Welcome to the deep dive. Ready to explore AI with us? We've got a ton of research, articles, the whole works, and we're going to break it all down for you.
Yeah, think of this like your AI cheat sheet.
Exactly. No need to get lost in the jargon.
Yeah.
We're going straight to the good stuff.
Yeah.
So, first things first, what is AI? It's a buzzword we hear everywhere, but what's the difference between AI and the regular software we use every day?
It all comes down to how it learns. Regular software, it's like a set of instructions of this, then that, very rigid. But AI is more like a student. It learns from data.
So it's always adapting, getting better based on new info.
Exactly. Constantly analyzing patterns, making predictions. It's how Netflix figures out what you might want to watch next.
Oh, that's right. It's tailoring the experience. I was reading about Dubai's smart traffic system. It actually uses AI to control traffic lights in real time.
Wow.
Yeah, it's helped reduce congestion by like 20% during rush hour. Pretty impressive.
That's a perfect example of AI in action. And, when we talk about this adaptation, this learning, that's where those terms like machine learning and deep learning come in.
Okay, yeah. Those terms feel kind of like buzzwords sometimes. What's the actual difference?
Well, machine learning, ML, it's basically systems that get better with experience. Imagine an email spam filter, right? Instead of someone having to program in every single spam word, ML can learn from millions of emails.
So it figures out the patterns.
Yeah, even
Yeah.
the really subtle ones we might miss. Now, deep learning, or DL, that takes this a step further. It uses something called artificial neural networks.
Neural networks.
Yeah, algorithms that are inspired by, get this, the human brain. Think of it like this. These networks process info in layers, just like our brains do.
Okay, now it's starting to sound a little complicated.
It can be, but think about facial recognition. How does that work? A deep learning model, it might start by looking for edges in a picture, then shapes, like eyes and noses. Eventually, it puts it all together and recognizes a face.
So DL is like this super-powered version of ML, able to handle much more complex stuff. And speaking of complex, the AI world is full of these kinds of terms. NLP, generative AI, computer vision. Can we break these down?
Absolutely. Let's start with natural language processing, or NLP. This is all about helping machines understand human language.
Like when we ask Siri about the weather.
Exactly, or when we use Google Translate, that's NLP in action.
So when I'm complaining to my phone about traffic, NLP is what helps it figure out I'm annoyed.
Pretty much. It's all about context and nuances. Now, generative AI, this one's really exciting. It's all about creating new content. Text, images, music, you name it.
Wait, AI can write essays now.
It can. And create art. Think ChatGPT or DAA. They learn patterns from huge amounts of data and then use that to generate something brand new.
Wow, that's incredible. And a little unsettling, if I'm being honest.
It is groundbreaking, but it's important to remember they're not understanding the content, just predicting patterns.
So it's like a supercharged autocomplete?
Yeah, you could think of it that way.
Okay, my mind's officially blown. What about computer vision? That one sounds pretty straightforward.
Basically, it's giving computers the ability to see. They interpret the world through images and videos, just like we do.
Like Google Lens identifying a plane from a photo.
Exactly. Or Tesla's autopilot. That's computer vision in action.
It's amazing how AI is mimicking how our brains work, but at a much faster pace.
And on a much larger scale. It really is changing the game in so many areas, like healthcare is a prime example.
Yeah, we talked about that incredible cancer detection accuracy earlier. Where else is AI making a big impact?
Well, healthcare's a big one. Think about it. AI systems can analyze medical images, things like X-rays and MRIs, with amazing accuracy.
Wow, so it's like having an extra pair of eyes for doctors.
Exactly. And it goes beyond just detection. AI can personalize treatment plans, factoring in things like genetics and lifestyle.
That's incredible. And we touched on AI being used to develop new drugs and therapies too.
Right, and it's speeding up the process significantly.
This is mind-blowing. AI is impacting healthcare, from diagnosis to treatment to creating new drugs.
And it's not just healthcare, it's also transforming finance.
Okay, yeah. We talked about fraud detection. What else is going on?
Oh, so much. Algorithmic trading, risk assessment, customer service, you name it.
Algorithmic trading. That sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie.
Not anymore. These are AI systems that are actually trading in the stock market, analyzing data, making split-second decisions, all without human intervention.
Wow, AI is literally playing the stock market.
It is, and it's a powerful tool. But like any tool, it comes with risks.
Of course. What about risk assessment? How's AI changing that?
Think about applying for a loan. AI can analyze all sorts of data and figure out someone's creditworthiness incredibly fast.
So much faster than a person.
Exactly. And it can sometimes even spot risks that humans might miss, so it's leading to more informed decisions.
That makes sense. And what about customer service? I feel like I'm always chatting with bots online.
A lot of those are powered by AI. Yep. They handle the simple stuff, freeing up human agents to tackle the more complex issues.
AI is becoming the first point of contact for a lot of businesses then.
Yeah, and the tech's getting better all the time.
So AI is not just limited to these complex fields. I read that even Starbucks is using it.
Oh yeah, Starbucks uses AI to give personalized drink recommendations.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
So AI is everywhere, from life-saving medical diagnoses to my morning coffee.
It's a testament to how adaptable it is. But, like with any powerful technology, we need to think about the implications.
That's a good point. It's not all sunshine and roses. What challenges do we need to consider?
We'll dive deeper into those in the next segment. Stay tuned.
Back again for more AI insights.
We've talked about what AI is, the key terms, kind of laid the foundation.
Yeah, now I'm ready to see it all in action.
hmm
How is AI changing specific industries?
Right, because it's one thing to talk about it theoretically, but seeing it in the real world, that's where it gets really interesting.
Absolutely. Let's start with healthcare. It just feels like it's ripe for disruption.
It really is. Healthcare is being transformed by AI in so many ways.
Yeah, we touched on that amazing cancer detection accuracy earlier with Path AI. What other breakthroughs are happening? It feels like we're just scratching the surface.
Oh yeah, we're just getting started. AI is now being used to analyze all sorts of medical images. X-rays, MRIs, you name it, with incredible precision.
So it's like this superpowered assistant for doctors,
Yeah,
helping them make better diagnoses.
exactly. And in some cases, it's actually exceeding the accuracy of human radiologists.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's mind-blowing. And it's not just about detection either. AI is now being used to personalize treatment plans, taking into account a patient's unique genetic makeup, their medical history, even their lifestyle.
So it's like custom-tailored medicine, designed specifically for each individual.
Exactly. It's about providing the most effective treatment possible.
That's game-changing. And you mentioned earlier that AI is being used to develop new drugs and therapies too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's another huge area where AI is making a big impact. It's accelerating the whole drug discovery process, helping researchers identify promising candidates much faster than before.
So it's helping bring new treatments to market more quickly, which could potentially save countless lives.
Exactly. It's pretty incredible to think about.
It really is. So AI is basically revolutionizing healthcare at every level, from diagnosis and treatment to developing those groundbreaking new drugs.
It really is. It's an exciting time to be in healthcare, that's for sure.
It sounds like it. Okay, so we've talked about healthcare, but I'm curious to hear about other industries. What about finance? That's another one where AI seems to be making a huge impact.
Oh, yeah, finance is another hotbed of AI innovation.
We touched on fraud detection earlier, but I'm sure there's so much more happening in this space. It feels like AI could be used for pretty much anything in finance.
You're not wrong. AI is being used for things like algorithmic trading, risk assessment, even customer service.
Algorithmic trading, that sounds super complex.
It is, but it's also becoming increasingly common. These are AI systems that are literally analyzing market data in real time, making those split-second trading decisions.
So it's like AI is playing the stock market.
In a way, yeah. And it can be a very effective strategy, but like any investment strategy, it comes with its own set of risks.
Right, of course. We need to be careful with how we use this technology. What about risk assessment? I imagine that's another area where AI could be really useful.
Absolutely. Imagine you're applying for a loan, right? AI can analyze all sorts of data, your credit history, your income, everything.
And it can make a decision about whether or not to give you that loan.
Exactly. And it can do it way faster than a human underwriter, too.
So it's streamlining the whole process, making it faster and more efficient for everyone.
Exactly. And it can also help identify potential risks that a human might miss.
So it's actually making the system safer and more reliable.
You got it. And then there's customer service, too. Remember those chatbots we were talking about?
Oh yeah, the ones that pop up on websites. I'm always
Yeah.
getting those.
Right. A lot of those are actually powered by AI. They can handle all those simple inquiries, provide information, even resolve basic issues.
So they're freeing up human agents to deal with the more complex stuff.
Exactly. It's about making things more efficient and providing a better customer experience.
So AI is really having a massive impact on all these different industries. Pretty incredible.
And those are just a few examples, too. We haven't even touched on how AI is being used in manufacturing, transportation, education, you name it.
It feels like the possibilities are truly endless.
They really are. And as AI continues to evolve, its impact on our lives will only grow.
So we've talked about how AI is being used today, but I'm curious, what about the future? What can we expect to see in the coming years?
Well, predicting the future is always a tricky business, but there are definitely a few key trends we can observe. Like one big thing is the increasing democratization of AI tools and resources.
Democratization. What does that mean in this context?
Basically, it means that AI is becoming more accessible to individuals and smaller businesses. It's not just for big corporations and research labs anymore.
So anyone can use AI now?
Pretty much. We're seeing all these new no-code AI platforms popping up, which means you don't even need to know how to code to build and use AI models.
Wow, so that opens up a whole new world of possibilities for innovation. That's really exciting.
It is. And another trend is the increasing focus on explainable AI.
We talked about transparency earlier, but this sounds even more specific. Why is explainable AI so important?
It's all about building trust. If we can understand how AI systems work, why they make certain decisions, then we're more likely to trust their recommendations.
Right, because a black box can be a little scary,
Mm.
especially when it's making important decisions.
Absolutely. And it's also about accountability. If an AI system makes a mistake, we need to be able to figure out why so we can fix it.
It's like needing that trail of breadcrumbs to trace back how the decision was made.
Yeah, exactly. And explainable AI can even help us learn from AI systems. By understanding how they work, we might discover new patterns in the data, new relationships we hadn't even thought of.
So AI can teach us new things. That's fascinating.
It really is. Now, another big trend is the integration of AI with other emerging technologies. Like, think about the Internet of Things, all those connected devices we have these days.
Oh yeah, we're surrounded by them. Smartphones, smartwatches, smart appliances, the whole 9 yards.
Mm.
Where does AI fit into all of that?
As AI gets smarter, it's going to be able to analyze all the data that these devices generate and create even more personalized and intelligent experiences.
So our devices are just going to get smarter and smarter.
Pretty much. Imagine your refrigerator ordering groceries for you based on what you usually eat, or your smartwatch alerting you to a potential health issue before you even notice any symptoms.
Wow, that's like something straight out of a sci-fi movie.
I know, right? And it's not just about consumer products either. AI is being integrated into industrial systems, transportation networks, even entire cities.
So we're talking about smart factories, self-driving cars, smart cities, the whole shebang.
Exactly. And then there's the intersection of AI with things like robotics and biotechnology.
It feels like we're on the verge of a whole new era of technological advancement.
We are. But with all this progress, there are definitely some challenges and concerns we need to think about. Like, one of the big ones is the potential impact on employment.
Yeah, that's something a lot of people worry about. Robots taking over our jobs.
I understand the concern. And it's true that as AI becomes more sophisticated, some jobs will inevitably become automated.
So what happens to those people?
Well, it's not necessarily a doom and gloom scenario. A lot of experts believe that AI will actually create new jobs and opportunities, especially in fields related to AI development and maintenance.
So it's about adaptation, finding new ways to contribute as technology evolves.
Exactly. It's about humans and AI working together, each playing to their strengths.
So it's not about AI replacing humans, but rather augmenting our capabilities.
Exactly. It's about finding that balance, making sure everyone benefits from these advancements, and that no one gets left behind.
That makes sense. But what about the potential for AI to be misused? Like we've heard about those deepfakes, those videos that look incredibly real but are actually fake.
Yeah, deepfakes are a real concern. And there's also the possibility of AI being used to develop autonomous weapons systems, which is pretty scary to think about.
It's like something out of a dystopian sci-fi movie.
I know, it's unsettling, but that's why it's so important to have those ethical frameworks and guidelines in place to make sure that AI is used for good and not for harm.
So it's not just about the technology itself, but about how we choose to use it.
Exactly. It's about responsibility, accountability, and making sure that we're using AI to make the world a better place.
It's like that old saying, with great power comes great responsibility. It definitely applies to AI.
It really does. The
Definitely.
future of AI is in our hands.
That's a powerful thought.
Yeah.
It's up to us to shape the direction of this technology and make sure it's used for the benefit of all humanity.
Absolutely. And it's a responsibility we all share.
Welcome back to the deep dive. We've really gone deep on AI, from the basics to real-world examples, and even touched on some of those big what-if questions.
It's been quite a journey, hasn't it?
It has. But before we wrap up, let's take a minute to, sort of distill everything we've talked about. What are some of the key takeaways for our listeners?
Well, I think one of the biggest things to remember is that AI isn't some far-off futuristic concept anymore. It's here, it's now, and it's already changing things in a big way.
It's true. Like, we don't even realize how much AI is already a part of our lives. I mean, think about those personalized recommendations you get on streaming services, or even just something as simple as spam filters.
Exactly. It's working behind the scenes, making things easier, more efficient. And remember how we talked about the democratization of AI? With all these new tools becoming available, we're going to see even more innovation. Individuals, small businesses, they're all going to be able to harness the power of AI.
That's exciting. But it also makes you think about the potential downsides, too.
You're right. It's a powerful tool, and like any powerful tool, there's always the risk of misuse. That's why those ethical frameworks and guidelines we talked about are so important.
It's not just about the technology itself, right? It's about how we use it, what values we bring to the table.
Absolutely. And it's about making sure that AI is used to empower us, not to, well, control or manipulate us.
Another thing that really stuck with me is that AI isn't about replacing humans altogether.
Right. It's more about augmenting our abilities, letting us do things better, faster, more efficiently.
Yeah. Like having a superpowered assistant to handle all those tedious tasks and give us insights that would take forever for us to figure out on our own.
Exactly. It frees us up to focus on the things that humans are really good at, things like creativity, critical thinking, problem solving.
Those things that make us uniquely human.
Exactly.
It's a partnership, not a competition, right?
That's the key.
We need to figure out how to work with AI, not against it. And when we do that, I mean, think about the potential. AI could help us solve some of the world's biggest problems.
No doubt about it. Climate change, developing new medical treatments, improving agriculture, even exploring space.
Wow. It really does feel like we're standing at the edge of a whole new era.
We are. But the future isn't set in stone. It's being shaped right now by the choices we make, the research we do, the values we prioritize.
That's a powerful thought. We all have a role to play in shaping the future of AI. So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with one final question. Now that you've learned a little bit about AI, its potential and, well, its challenges, what role do you want to play in all of this?
Something to think about. Are you going to just sit back and watch as this technology unfolds? Or are you going to jump in, learn more, ask questions, really be a part of the conversation?
It's up to you, but the choice matters. The future of AI isn't some pre-written script. It's a story that's still being written, and we all have the chance to be a part of it.
That's a great way to put it.
Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey into the world of AI.
My pleasure.
And to our listeners, we hope this deep dive has sparked your curiosity and given you a solid foundation to navigate this rapidly changing world.
Keep learning, keep exploring, and most importantly, keep asking questions. The future is full of possibilities.
This is The Deep Dive, signing off.